welcome to Crossfire, the show that dives into the heart of global conflicts, where nations collide, alliances shift, and lives hang in the balance. On tonight's show, we tell you how President Donald Trump has now proposed a dangerous plan to take over the Gaza Strip. Also on the show, we tell you how new intelligence indicates that Iran is now racing to develop a nuclear bomb. Stay tuned as we break down these crucial developments and explore their impact on the future of global power and security. President Donald Trump made a shocking announcement on Tuesday. He declared that US will take over the Gaza Strip. Now, this proposal could involve deploying American troops to the region. His vision: transform Gaza into a new Riviera, a luxurious destination. So what exactly does his proposal involve, and can it really deliver lasting peace in the region? Our top story looks at this question for you.
Standing next to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump made an audacious proposal. Trump declared that America will take over Gaza and could even send troops to the territory. Trump stated that America will be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons in Gaza. He emphasized leveling the area and removing destroyed buildings. Trump even suggested that America could take over long-term ownership of the Gaza Strip. But the real focus of Trump's plan is moving 2 million Palestinians away from their homeland. Trump suggested that the battle over Gaza had left the territory's people with nothing but misery and destruction. And Trump recommended moving Gazans into enclaves in other Arab nations, while Gaza is being reconstructed. But this proposal has worried many in the Middle East. In the past, Trump has said that he wants regional powers like Jordan and Egypt to take Palestinians from Gaza into their own countries, either temporarily or for long terms. And that is something Middle Eastern nations are not willing to do. Many of them already host large populations of refugee Palestinians. And 5 Arab foreign ministers have made clear to America that they want Palestinians to be involved in Gaza's reconstruction. Saudi Arabia, one of the region's foremost powers, has rejected Trump's idea of moving Palestinians from Gaza. According to reports, even Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel was somewhat surprised by Trump's suggestion. But Netanyahu said that the proposal was interesting. Trump's proposal is likely to face significant opposition. And that is not even getting into how Palestinians are likely to see Trump's efforts to take over Gaza. During his time in office, Trump has been seen as a highly pro-Israel leader, which means that there isn't much trust that he will push for an equitable, long-term solution to the conflict in the Middle East. America's president is going to have to put serious diplomatic and political effort if he wants to see his grand plan for Gaza become a reality.
Iran is now reportedly on the brink of developing a nuclear weapon within months. US intelligence indicates that a group of Iranian scientists is seeking a faster, albeit cruder method to create an atomic bomb. Now, Iran's rush to develop such a weapon comes even as it's looking to open talks with the Trump administration. So what exactly are Iran's motivations, and how will America and Israel react to this dangerous development? Next report decodes it for you.
During the final days of Joe Biden's presidency, startling new intelligence appeared from Iran. This intelligence suggested that Iran's military is urgently developing its nuclear weapons program. The intelligence suggests that Iran's scientists are looking for shortcuts to convert their expanding stockpile of nuclear fuel into a functional weapon in a matter of months. Currently, Iran possesses uranium enriched to 60%, which could be potentially further enriched to weapons grade levels quickly. However, merely enriching uranium is only part of the equation. Developing a sophisticated warhead that could deliver a nuclear weapon remains a complex task. Now, Iran's leadership has not formally decided to pursue a nuclear weapon, but the urgency is palpable. With Iran's military at a low point and its proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah weakened, there are fears that Tehran might explore new defense strategies. Trump has previously expressed a desire to avoid conflict with Iran, hoping for diplomatic resolutions instead. But Trump is also hosting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this week in Washington. Netanyahu has been an outspoken critic of Iran. Israel has even suggested potential military action against Iran's nuclear facilities. But that could be a highly escalatory move that could set up a conflict with the Middle East's most powerful militaries. And Trump has said that it would be better to work out a diplomatic solution using military force. However, a significant impediment is that America's policy on Iran has been confused over the last 10 years. In 2015, America signed a nuclear deal with Iran. Iran agreed to restrictions on its nuclear program in return for some economic benefits. But Donald Trump came to office in 2017 and junked the deal. Instead, he opted for a policy of maximum pressure on Iran. Then, Joe Biden came into office and opted to try for diplomatic talks, which failed. And Biden largely did not put a lot of pressure on Tehran. Trump, however, has promised to act strongly against Iran's government. But Trump has also been clear that he wants a deal to manage the nuclear menace from Iran. Trump does have a window of opportunity. Iran is weak and the American president is strong domestically. But it is a small window, and Trump will have to do everything in his power to seize it.
Russia's military is facing a staggering crisis on the battlefield. As the Ukraine war drags on, Moscow has been losing armored combat vehicles at stunning rates. And as a result, Russian forces are now adapting in unexpected ways, most notably by using civilian Lada cars for combat operations. As international car manufacturers exit the Russian market, President Putin has now turned to Russia's Lada cars, instructing his troops to utilize these vehicles in assaults. Our next report decodes it for you.
Both Russia and Ukraine have suffered major military losses since the war began in 2022. By some estimates, Russia has lost over 15,000 armored vehicles. This catastrophic depletion has forced the Russian military to adapt. Videos circulating online show Russia's Lada cars fitted with military markings and anti-drone grills engaging Ukrainian positions. This shift is reminiscent of past conflicts where civilian vehicles were pressed into service, like the Toyota pickups used by insurgents across the Middle East. The question arises, how did Russia, with its vast military resources, end up relying on family cars in combat? The answer lies in its staggering loss rates. Estimates suggest that Russia has lost approximately 9,938 tanks and 20,709 armored personnel vehicles since February 2022. The Russian military's inability to replace these losses has led to reliance on outdated equipment from Cold War stockpiles, which are now running dangerously low. This creates an additional vulnerability for Russian soldiers on the ground, since these vehicles are family cars that offer little protection against modern weaponry and artillery fire. Despite some territorial gains in Ukraine, the shortage of combat resources indicates a troubling trend for Russia's military ambitions. This reliance on civilian vehicles highlights a desperate last resort for Russian forces. They are also facing mounting casualties, with hundreds of thousands of personnel lost, according to Ukrainian estimates. The use of Lada's cars may be seen as a sign of desperation, but it also underscores the significant logistical failures within the Russian military. But Ukraine is also plagued by a similar military situation. Ukraine continues to struggle with artillery shortages compared to Russia, which has a larger supply of artillery shells. Internal disputes within Ukraine's defense ministry have caused significant delays in arms contracts. over 80 defense companies are currently unable to sign new contracts or receive payments for completed orders, jeopardizing future supplies to the Ukrainian military. Ukraine is also having serious trouble recruiting the manpower it needs to fight Russia. As the conflict continues, both sides are grappling with problems that should keep defense planners awake at night.
Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Crossfire. Stay tuned to India Today Global, where we simplify geopolitics for you.